Shaw Lane water runoff issues, new build must not have any barriers. 1986 East North Botell. Which side is that? 2019 86. Which side of Huron is that?
That side, I think.
East side. Okay. Blight ticket issued on both those. The one is kind of a professional guy. He's down partway on the left-hand side of the hot machine in the driveway. Or, oh no, 1986 is the one on the right when you first go down, and then, yeah, 1986, 2011 is the other one. 1931, Parish Blight requested cleanup, blight ticket. Mara Drive, which is a continual one down there. 6 requests for fences, letters to Lamar to resolve billboard lighting being cast on the house to the north. Many in calls for zoning ordinance restrictions. I do remember seeing some place on one on Mara Drive. There's actually 2 or 3 buildings that are always on our list down there.
Yeah, one got boarded up. The one by Chartier at the end on the left-hand side was boarded up.
The very end one, yep.
And she deeded it to her son. The maternal one is something being dealt with by the township. And then the other one, I have not heard from Fred what he's going to do with that because they had debris. Actually, the fire department brought it up that they had debris that covered the whole road and the fire hydrant, and they said clean it out from around the fire hydrant because if we can't get the fire hydrant.
No, it needs to be done right away.
Yeah, that's a fire safety issue.
Okay. All right. One more public comment.
I'd like
And
to
I'm going
start
to keep you to 3 minutes since I was let you go past that. Anybody else got anything else to say at the very end?
I just wanted to say that we should be careful, everyone here in Linwood Township. There is relationships between people and zoning and commissioning relationships, and so we have to fight as a community to keep ourselves at nice living places that we've paid for and want to spend our life with instead of having tourists, or like they call them, whatever they call them, come in and ruin our livelihood and our lives and what we work so hard to get. Because of relationships.
And vengeance.
Anybody else?
Charles Campbell, I have a question. Anybody that was sharing their complaints about problems in the township at the microphone, you should pick up a complaint form, fill it out, and return it to the township. Because if we hear about it here, and we don't hear about it at the front desk, we can't forward it to the township zoning administrator. So after this meeting, if anyone would like some, I have 3 here and I can get more out of the drawer. If you have a problem, then you should voice your opinion on paper, and then we, as a township, can deal with it. And that will help you out to give you more peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yes, Ron Pettit, 63 South William Beach Road. I just, help me understand why would we even, we're talking about writing ordinances to regulate these actions where now we have to call the cops and this and that. Wouldn't it be the easy thing just to not allow this?
Do you call the police when somebody else does something wrong? I'm not trying to be a
We don't
smart
have
aleck.
people that,
We don't have that now, but
we don't have that problem
It's
yet.
right across the street from me. They've been great neighbors. Probably more than 80% of their customers are repeat customers. But so again, to have to write these rules for these people to live within, to where now if they infringe on these rules, we can now call the cops and this and that. The biggest avoidance would be just to not allow this to go through. But that's just my opinion. So.
I appreciate it, and that's why we try to make those as stringent as possible. That if there are problems, there's teeth for them to follow, and go after the owners of it.
Yeah. Go ahead, you
Bingo.
Cameron, 53 South on the Beach Road. You say they have teeth, but if you rented for a week for 3 cabins and made $3 grand plus, and your fine for them is $500, what the heck's that matter? You know what I mean? So, saying this stuff has teeth, how do we know that? You're gonna have 3 different sections. They're all renting at the same time, so you're talking like 10, 12 grand probably a week for them. So these fines are gonna do great for for us. So, you know, again, you kind of seem to all four here want to neglect these people. And there seems to be one person helping us, it seems like, but that's my opinion too, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I was at a meeting just recently, an appraisal meeting, and one of these gentlemen, I'm not sure which one of it was, had the niceness to have sarcastic remarks twice said about a person having an issue with their neighbor, maybe if they were nicer, and another one, and I find it extremely rude. I was the only person in this room, other than the people who were here appealing it, and these were directed at me. And that gentleman, I have the words written down, and maybe if he'd like to retake them back, because ignorance from this board is appalling.
You said a board member did that?
Yes.
The Board of Appeals, though.
Yeah,
It was the Board of Appeals.
appeals member was rude and made comments
Okay,
directly.
but that's not us.
I didn't say it was you. I said,
Sorry. When I asked the board member, you said yes, and I apologize.
well,
I
then
thought
while
you
we're
meant,
at here
I
also,
thought you meant us.
no, and I would also like, why are you not recusing yourself from this thing as you've already had business
I don't
dealings
have any
with
business
Brad
dealings.
Ford?
Okay, you wanna know what it was? He offered me a job and I turned it down. That's it.
Really? Is that
I-
this job?
No,
You sure?
excuse me? Pardon me?
I just asked.
No, the job he offered me was doing a building superintendent job for his corporation, and I turned it down.
Yeah.
So I have no business dealings with it.
Okay,
I have no financial interest in this,
okay.
period.
And then
Other than the
the
$30
county
I get for my
commissioner,
meeting.
the county commissioner the other night told me how he had beers with Brad Gort also. So it's really interesting how this is
The
coming
county
together.
commissioner had-
Oh, yeah, he had beers with Brad and they discussed it, and he actually
Good.
discussed with Brad and suggested he should back out.
When was that?
Okay, once again,
Yeah.
not our
At the
board. And
Yeah.
I'm
board-
upfront
at
by
the
what my
Interesting.
relationship.
Board of
Interesting.
Appeals, when you
Yeah.
Okay,
gave
then
them
we've
their,
already-
their deck.
And you know who you are.
I was there, I heard it too.
With
When the people were here wanting to get the bigger deck, and you,
corporation that bought the
We-
property.
our public-
he asked me a question.
Lady has the floor right now.
He asked me a question.
That's fine, this lady still has the floor right now. Let's keep it
There is
civil.
somebody on the board that has relationships with the people that bought the lots out there. On this board, you know who you are, and you know what the relationship is, and you should be honest, and not try to push something through and ruin our lives, because your relations bought into these properties. Now you want to change everything and ruin our lives. That's it.
Okay.
And you can talk about that, because you know who you are.
Anything else? Okay, public comments closed. Next meeting is August 10th, 7 o'clock, and it's 8:22, we're adjourned. Yep. I'll say aye. You say the motion, I say
You said that, my remark made about the gentleman out there rejecting the house. I not have a problem with his neighbor. And then about the house being like dinosaurs that's out there in the beach road. My house is pretty old, so I consider it a dinosaur.